Water From Your Eyes have become one of the most hyped bands in alternative music over the last 2 years. As the shared creative project of Nate Amos and Rachel Brown, their pop-fused alternative rock has garnered a cult following the world over, including accolades from some of contemporary music's biggest artists. I hung out with Nate and Rachel here in Sydney to chat about the creative spirit, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and more. Nate and Rachel from Water From Your Eyes. How are you both?
Good.
Great. Happy to be here. Yeah.
For those who might not be familiar with your music, can you both introduce yourselves?
Well, I'm Nate. I guess I make the music and play the guitars and stuff.
And I'm Rachel. I write the lyrics and then I sing those words.
Has that always been such a clearly defined two roles?
Yeah, that's kind of because I feel like we both the music that we make separately is very different from Water From Your Eyes, and I think Water From Your Eyes is kind of the way that it's evolved. The sound is very much a product of that particular system, I think.
Yeah. Congratulations on It's a Beautiful Place. It's such an extraordinary and pretty singular album to my ears. It also stands out to me as thematically very timely. You've got these themes of sort of God, existentialism, hope amidst despair. But through all of it, there's a real humor. How do you go about making an album that's thematically at times dark, but still has a bit of levity to it?
I feel like humor is kind of how we deal with the heavier things in our personal lives and situations at large. I feel like, I don't know, humor helps keep things in balance. I feel like we would both spiral pretty hard without comedy in our lives.
I think, the world is cruel and sad and also full of joy and laughter. It's just, I guess, how it goes.
So humor kind of functions to prioritize or put the joy at the forefront, do you think? Or
No. It just, it's all an ebb and flow of things, I think. I guess I'm just naturally drawn to laughing, but also I'm pretty naturally drawn to depression.
Light and shade.
Yeah. Yin and yang.
Just on that, the pop sensibility in your work is a real draw for people, but it's incorporated in a way that doesn't dilute the originality of your sound. You're not doing it in a way that's derivative. Tell me about balancing something that's accessible while not being derivative.
I mean, it's really kind of a puzzle, because at least with Water From Your Eyes now, it seems like the challenge of making music is taking these kind of headier, less accessible compositional ideas and looking at it and trying to find the key to cracking it and making it something accessible. And usually that has to do with melody. I'm a believer in any noise, however inaccessible, potentially being unlocked by the right melody. And it's kind of just a matter of, seeing how weird a place we can pull something from while still managing to turn it into pop music.
For sure.
Is there a tried and true process for incorporating the more discordant sounds in with something that's melodically really rich and kind of earwormy?
Not really. It's just a lot of pacing around and waiting for the right idea.
Yeah. Same goes lyrically? Gotcha.
Yeah, I like to sit mostly. I'm not much of a pacer. more of a sitter.
I got the pacing covered when you're sitting.
Yeah,
Oh, so it's also the pacing and the sitting halves of the band,
yeah,
as well as the right, the lyrics and the compositions. Yeah,
yeah.
it's good to compartmentalize.
I feel like, yeah, the lyrics, they're kind of... I mean, oftentimes the melody exists, so then it's like trying to fit an idea into an existing set of syllables. So it's just kind of a lot of saying things out loud while the music plays and then doing that for hours. And then it's pretty quick between the writing the lyrics and the recording the vocals.
We try to, I feel like a lot of the time the music and instrumentation itself has been, by the time we get to the point of working on the vocals, things have already been kind of like labored over and cooked so thoroughly that it's necessary to capture the vocals when they're really fresh. It gives it a sense of spontaneity that the instrumental content doesn't have by itself. It's just a little bit of a balancing act and process.
I think that's cool. Like, to my ear, that sort of gives the work not really attention, but Rachel, your sort of vocal delivery kind of dances on top of something that's already, at times maybe even motoric, like, very structured and uniform, but it doesn't feel tight or inflexible. It's really a really cool dynamic. This album seems to have brought you to a whole new audience, but we were just talking on the way over here. You're now in Australia. How does it feel having your work seen by such a broad audience globally?
Awesome. Thank you, audience.
Yeah. Awesome. Also a little bit spooky, I will say, but mostly awesome.
Spooky in what way?
Oh, it's just
my mind goes to haunted house when
no, it's just like a lot of, well, it's a lot of, it definitely like levels up the pressure, and I think both of us we're both people who were making music not really with this being a goal. We're both just kind of like compulsive creators, and there's something very safe feeling about making music when no one's really going to hear it beyond your friend group. So it's been a little bit of a process getting used to the idea that what we make now, like, launches from like a slightly higher platform than before. It's really cool and it's really gratifying. It's way scarier than making music for no one, though.
Does that come by virtue of being signees to Matador, like being part of a label that has a real legacy and a real pedigree?
Yeah, definitely. I think that, to be on a record label like Matador is an honor, but it is like, they have a reputation, so then it's like we have to hope that we're meeting expectations, except that I don't know. I don't really know if either of us.
Maybe it's not a conscious creative consideration in what you're doing.
Again, it's a little bit of a tap dance, because you don't want to let that pressure change the way that you create. So you try not to think about it too hard, but also keep in mind the fact that it's like for real this time. It's not just, whatever you make is gonna be out there. So you try not to let it change how you make music, but also you have to try to not make bad music, because You can't really hide it.
So it's quality control rather than creative influence.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Definitely.
sure.
Cool. Just on that, you've each got projects outside of this. Nate with This Is Lorelei and Rachel with Thanks for Coming. How does the way Water From Your Eyes nourishes you creatively differ from each of these projects in the way that they nourish you individually?
Oh, it's just a completely different thing. I feel like it's like recess compared to class.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, I like that. The way I think about a lot of it, it's like they're different sports. You know, so you're still like moving around and using muscles, but with like a different intention. I think both of our solo projects are very kind of like diaristic, whereas Water From Your Eyes is a little bit more of a space that we step into.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What sort of freedoms does that open you up to, having a project that you inhabit rather than being so introspective?
I mean, it just doesn't feel like it's a direct... When something doesn't feel like it's a direct reflection of you as a person, I feel like that opens up a lot of doors for what you're comfortable doing. And, you know, Water From Your Eyes is so different from what we do individually that I guess it's separate enough from both of us that, well, I don't really know what I'm saying. I feel I'm having a stupid morning. It just, you know, when it's, I feel like both of our solo projects, there's this sense of like, you know, when people judge our solo music, it feels like they're also judging us as people. Whereas Water From Your Eyes is kind of, there's a little bit more of a division there, and there's kind of an inherent shield that's born out of the process of Water From Your Eyes. So in some ways, you're personally more protected, but it's also weird because it feels like some like other, we always used to say that Water From Your Eyes has a secret third member, which is just like a floating orb that we follow around, and we kind of blame everything on the orb. So if you don't like Water From Your Eyes, don't look at us, because it's ultimately just the orb's fault.
Don't hate the player, hate the orb.
Yeah, exactly.
How about for you, Rachel? Is it the same, similar relationship with it?
Yeah, I mean, like, my music is so, it like only really even exists because it was like an emotional, like a cathartic release. I had a very hard time expressing my emotions when I was younger. I would kind of just mask everything with humor. And I also never really learned how to play instruments or, you know, like make music. I know some chords on guitar, where with Water From Your Eyes, it's like music that I could never make. And so I get to kind of just dance around. And I'm like, this sounds awesome. And I guess it's, in a way, it's more fun to just do something with your friend than to do it something kind of by yourself. Like, I feel like it's, you know, it is showing some vulnerability, but it's not cutting your body open and having all your insides pour out. It's more like an X-ray.
Beautiful analogy. That's sick. I've never heard anything like that. That's cool. One last question from me, guys. If you could play me any album, what would you play me?
Probably like Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers would probably be one of them.
I'll
What do you like about Californication?
What do you mean? It's perfect. What is
Well,
there
I'm
not
interested
to
in
like?
what makes it special to you.
It's just like it's a perfect album. I mean, I think the Red Hot Chili Peppers are like pretty goofy. They're funny, but there's a lot of heart, and they just don't sound. No one sounds like them.
I think, for better or for worse, the Red Hot Chili Peppers are the great American rock band to me, and Californication is kind of, warts and all, kind of the great American rock album. And if you don't like it, that's fine, because there are also a lot of people who don't like America. I think that's part of it. And aside from that, it's just, it's a banger. Come on.
Yeah, just absolute heaters.
Yeah. Everyone should listen to the album Tilt by Scott Walker at least once in their lives. And I don't say that thinking that most people would necessarily enjoy it, because it's not like a normal music listening experience, but his work really changed the way that I thought about music and the intersection between music and noise, and the lack of barrier between the two things. And I know that album, his work, that album just being like a really good example of it, was something that opened me up. And I think for 1 out of every 10 people, that might be a life-changing experience.
It's pretty hectic compared to some of the early period, like more Baroque stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's essentially two different careers. I think my favorite Scott album, I think, will always be Climate of Hunter, because it's just this weird in-between point. I love that album so much. It's like the bridge between those two eras. And that, I will probably never stop studying his work. It's a source of constant fascination for me.
Do you have another one, Rachel?
Yeah, I guess American Water by Silver Jews.
You're the first person who's ever said the Silver Jews.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's a shock to me too.
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
I think someone said Purple Mountains, but not the Silver Jews. Yeah.
Okay, well, definitely listen to it then. Jesus. I think David Berman is just my favorite lyricist, and that album was just amazing, and the lyrics he is just this way with words where the most simple things are profound and things are funny but heartbreaking, and I love his voice. I feel like he was a really one-of-a-kind songwriter, and I think that everything I do, I kind of keep him in mind, and especially the album.
Yeah, such a special band and a special dude. Even the written poetry, Actual Air, that's amazing stuff as well.
Yeah, I love the Self-Portrait at 28. It's just one of my favorite poems. Yeah, he's just such the way he uses language, it's not pretentious at all. It feels very accessible, and he's always getting at something more than on the surface.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff. Nate and Rachel from Water From Your Eyes, thank you so much for your time.